pulling good,
Whoa.
isn't he?
Let us see.
There he goes. Stay with him, Phil. There he is. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a good
that's a chub.
fish. Yeah,
That's a good
fish.
Ha.
Grady White Boats' reputation for designing ruggedly elegant fishing boats is legendary. Our attention to quality, detail, and customer service is unmatched. From our Fisherman 180 and Coastal Explorers series to the unrivaled Canyon 456, you'll find no boat that rides better and offers more fishing amenities. Go ahead, experience fishing at its best. Get the Grady.
Welcome to the Carolina Outdoor Journal. If you like bass fishing, this show is going to be a good one for you today. Joe, nothing like fishing for bass on the lake.
That's right, and we're going to do that today with Phil Cable, who guides up here in the Piedmont, and Joe Dorman, who's always with us when it comes to bass fishing. He's done a lot of bass fishing shows for us, and last year we fished with them, and they were fishing plugs, deep diving plugs. This summer we went out using plastic worms, soft baits, jigs, doing it a little differently, a little shallower water. Last year it was later in the summer, deeper water structure, and yeah, Phil's been fishing up here a long time, and he knows where these fish like to hang out when the water starts warming up. But today's show we're going to be in a little shallower water, a little different technique, but pay attention and he'll teach you something.
We'll learn about those baits in gear time. And Donna's got something special today. Blueberry cornmeal biscuits. And, buddy, I'm going to tell you something. Talk about catching fish. This is off the hook.
That's right. And you add that with some fresh fish and with anything. It's just a really good recipe from her today.
All right. We got a great fishing adventure for you and a wonderful recipe here on the Carolina Outdoor Journal.
Well, Phil, it's July the 1st. We're starting a little bit earlier this year than we did last year up here at Jordan Lake. We're going to try to catch some fish on some plastics, maybe a little shallower than last year. You got some good places picked out for us?
I hope so. We're going to fish around the lake, see what we can put together today. Looks like a good day to catch them, so I think we'll do pretty good today.
Caught them on crankbaits last year. We're going to try, what, Carolina rigs and Texas rigs?
Texas rigs, probably throw a big old heavy jig. But we'll throw some baits like that this time and see what we can do with them. Lately, that's been the better bite over the crankbait anyhow, so let's see what it'll do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fish on. Little guy.
It's a start though.
Yeah. They
He's
will
tough.
bite.
Look how strong he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think he's quite as little as that one you caught the other day.
No, he ain't.
Come here. Boy, he ate it too.
Yep, he did eat it. He was out here on the rock pile. Need some help.
Yeah, I think I got him.
Need to pull that line so you can see.
Got him. Oh, this one's got some shoulders.
Feel like a good fish.
It does. Oh, yeah.
Stay with him. Let me get my stuff in.
Of course, he
Down
might
here
be
where I
he
can
might be a
help you.
strong 3-pounder, but he sure feels pretty big.
He's pulling good.
Whoa.
Isn't he?
Let us see.
There he goes. Stay with him, Phil. There he is. Yeah, that's a good
That's a
fish.
chub.
Yeah,
That's a good
fish.
Ha.
How about that?
Fell right out, didn't it?
You didn't even have that fish
Well,
hooked.
I didn't want to hurt him.
I caught that fish.
Okay.
You didn't have- Look at her.
Yeah.
That's a solid fish, boy. Pretty fish.
Yeah.
Now you were lucky to get that fish in the boat.
I just kept my line tight,
He just didn't come up shake.
and he wanted to be
He
caught.
wanted to come see us.
Yeah, if he'd probably come up and shook one time, that would have
That
been
would've
all
been
she wrote.
history,
Yeah.
yeah.
She'd have been gone.
All right, we'll go get Mama. Good job. Let's see if I can find me one like that. Well, Phil, we've had a good start. It was a pretty morning this morning. Hardly any wind. I understand it's going to get hot, but you've already got one good keeper in the boat. So we've got a good start on them.
Yeah, that's the way to start in the morning.
What do you think the weather's gonna do today?
They say 96, 97, thunderstorms this afternoon. It's going to be humid. It's going to be tough.
Well,
be
maybe
hot, but-
maybe we'll get some wind, a little cloud cover from time to time.
Yeah, that would be a big help. We got a little breeze, a little bit of cloud cover. We can deal with that.
Well, you got a good start on it. Maybe
Yeah.
I can catch up with you here in a minute.
You probably will. You've been known to.
Well, I get behind, dude. I'll spot you a couple. Nice fish there, ain't it, Phil?
Pretty
Hit
decent fish.
right up under the boat.
He's on the edge of that channel.
Yeah.
He done moved out off that flat. He was right on the edge.
He didn't give you much time to play with him though.
Yeah.
That's right, pretty. That spot on him there.
A little sore.
Had him hooked good. Fat, healthy fish. Right, pretty.
He'll do.
Try to catch one further out so we can play with him some more.
I'll take them where they could.
I know. Hard as they are to come by. Maybe they're gonna get turned on now. Phil, normally when I fish offshore, we're fishing just a small hump, just one little bunch of stumps. But today we're seeming to catch them more on where there's like a long ridge.
Yeah, a lot of times these places, I especially look for like bars or ridges, something that'll run down and run by a creek channel or the river channel. This particular spot we're on right now is like a sandbar, and it runs out and it runs right down to where a little creek wraps off the end of it. And it's just a good place for them to run up and feed, but they got access to deep water to get off of it too. So I look for a lot of places like this more than the so-called humps and stuff. I really do good on a lot of these. Oh, I missed him.
You missed him.
I missed him. He wasn't.
We may be.
Yeah, look what I did. I broke my
Broke
hook
your
off.
line.
Yeah. Yeah, I told you I saw those fish right there.
We were sitting
It's
right on
sitting
top
there,
of the fish.
Sitting right on them.
On the depth finder. Let me grab you a hook right
I need
quick.
a hook and a worm. I told you I was gonna pull one
Yeah,
off.
we got right on the spot here. Not as nice as yours now. He's not nearly as good as that last one you
Right.
caught, but he's still a chub.
Oh yeah, he's a good
He's
keeper.
a good keeper fish.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, that's a good keeper fish up here.
Oh yeah. 16 incher.
Yeah.
Good.
Not as healthy as that last one. He's just starting to move out here and feed up, I guess.
Yeah, they looking a little thin. They probably still recovering from that stone, but they'll be fat and sassy for long.
Won't be long. That's why they're out here.
Mm-hmm.
Feeding up for the summertime. Let's try him again. There's fish, Phil.
Got a good one?
Well, maybe. He's staying down. I hadn't seen him yet. Pulling pretty good.
Yeah, I think you got one of them toads.
One of them toads.
One of them toads.
Oh, look at that.
Well,
Well,
do you need help with him?
I think I can handle a little guy.
Well, hey, he counts. As hard as you work to catch these guys, they all count.
Well, we're going to throw them all back. So if they're not a keeper, they're just not a keeper. But
Exactly.
he hit like a big fella. What we were talking about earlier, it doesn't matter.
That's exactly right.
They think they're big even though they're not.
Let me get up here and throw this big worm in there, see if I can catch that big one.
Yeah, get that big one out of my way so I can
Yeah.
get that small one.
Well, I'm that kind of fella. See, I like to do things like that. I don't
You're
want
a
you to
nice
hurt.
guy.
I don't want you to hurt your arm or nothing.
Yeah, those big ones are they're a lot of work.
They do. They hurt your arm.
Yeah.
The older I got, and muscles getting sore and joints getting sore. But I can still handle one of those.
Phil, the fish on this ridge are in 7, 8 foot up to what, 12 or so.
Yeah, well, the bites we've had so far probably been about 7, 8 foot of water.
They're just staging up there to move deeper as the hotter the water temperature gets.
Yeah, they'll move up and down these things to feed, but as the water gets hotter, they'll get out there and stay deeper because the food will stay deeper. You know, so
Yeah.
it's they stay right in relationship with the
pretty much gonna follow the bait, aren't they?
Yep, they're gonna stay with the bait.
Good fish. Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Well, that's like a real good fish. A real good fish. What? Let me put the net on that one, Phil. That's a nice fish.
Come here, baby. Come here.
There you go. Old big worm done the trick, didn't it?
Yeah.
I feel that's a nice fish.
Oh yeah, she's a pretty fish.
Another good 5, 6 pound fish.
Yeah.
And that big worm,
The big worm got her, did it?
I tell you what,
That's a hoss head.
that's a whole. Old bass is a mean thing.
Mm-hmm.
They'll eat stuff bigger than they are.
I used to always say if a bass ever weighed 100 pounds, you wouldn't ever want to get in the water.
No, sir.
He would eat you.
Be worse than a shark. That's a good job there.
Yeah. All right.
Let's do that again.
Slowly and surely, we're going to pick these boys up.
Yeah. Phil, I bet there's been more fish caught on the Carolina rig up here from late May to June on through August than any other bait.
Oh yeah, yeah, and there are actually guys that'll throw this thing year round too. I mean, it's kind of their staple, what they're gonna catch their fish on. But
Well, it's versatile.
yeah, it is, and you throw a lot of different things on it, a lot of different baits, and it catches a lot of fish. You got to throw it if you're gonna bass fish. It's just, yeah, it's a good fish catching tool.
Well, once they get out there over 15, 18 feet, so basically the only thing you can get down to them other than a jig or something.
Yeah, and it forgives you too. You know, fish bites a Carolina rig. He doesn't really sense that you're on the other end of that line so much. You've got that leader out there floating around. I heard a guy say one time that he had showed these two guys how to throw a Carolina rig, and the other fellow said he fished against them. He said, "I wish you'd never done that." He said, "Why?" He said, "They're the two worst worm fishermen I know in North Carolina, but you just gave them a loaded gun.
Yeah.
They're gonna be able to catch fish on that."
Yeah.
So that's just the way it is.
Fish. That felt like such a good fish right there.
Well, he's a little better than what you've been catching.
Well, thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Well,
There's another Joe fish. That's been my size today.
yeah, but he's a fish. Yeah, they all
he's a
count.
fish. They're a lot of fun. They're
Yeah.
still solid and healthy. They pull good. And there's a bigger one out there somewhere we'll get a hold of.
Well, maybe that'll happen any second. It's a good spot for one.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I thought you had him that time.
Oh, that fish bit,
Picked it up good, solid, right?
bit like
yeah.
he was supposed to.
Yeah.
Phil, tell me about fishing worms, Carolina rig versus Texas rigs out here when you're on this deep spots.
Okay. I think the biggest thing is to remember to work the bait with your rod. By that I mean don't crank the bait with your reel, because if you do and the fish hits, he's going to automatically feel you. But if you drag that bait along or hop it with your rod, then take up your slack with your reel. You're more in tune to be able to feel the fish bite and not to let him know that you know he's bit. Same thing with a Texas rig. Work the bait with your rod, and always take up your slack with your reel. You don't want to let it go, totally dead. So you want to stay in tune with it, but keep it tight and where you know what's going on.
You got to be able to keep the tension on it so you can feel the fish bite.
Sure.
But not too much tension.
Yeah.
Because if he feels you,
Yeah.
he'll spit it right back
Yeah,
out.
if you're cranking away, you won't be able to react quick enough when he strikes most times, and you'll miss the fish.
I fished a real clear lake down at close to Wilmington, Sutton Lake, which was a power plant, real clear. You could actually see the Carolina rig down there 6 foot of water, and you can watch it work. When you pick it up that rod, you twitch, and it's like a floating worm on top. It twitches back and forth, kind of a swim action. Fished there in the field.
Yeah, he come right off that sandbar. He's a tug, and he felt like a stump.
Well, you might have been on a stump. He might have just come got you
Oh,
off the
he's gonna
stump.
show himself.
Yeah, that's a nice fish. Look at that.
Whoa!
That's what we come looking for. Yeah, a good fish. Just a little bit. I got her.
All right.
Look at there.
Yes, sir. That took a while.
That did.
That took a while. Yeah.
Just to make my wife happy, I'll say, nice fish.
Yeah. You gonna kiss him?
She said, no, I'm not gonna kiss her. I wanna make her so happy.
Uh-oh.
She said, why do these guys catch these fish? They always say, nice fish. I said, because you go about 4 hours and don't see one.
right.
Nice fish. Let's do that again.
Let's see, there might be another one. There's a stump right there, and I'd pulled into the stump. I literally think he pulled the bait off the stump.
Definitely a stump there, because you pulled up and it stopped
And
and
it stopped. Maybe it's
took
like
off with it.
Maybe it's like one of my customers. Maybe he just fooled me.
Yeah. What you need?
I need a worm
Where I find them at?
right here, and I want a green pumpkin one.
Well, Joe, it's easy to say that Phil put us on the fish that day.
Well, he did, and you know he guides up here, and he knows where the fish, what the fish do when the conditions start changing. You know, when they're up close to shore, you can catch fish and fairly reliable. But when they move offshore, it takes the special knowledge, and that's comes from spending a lot of time out there on the water. And he does that, and he puts us on fish.
Let's get some pointers on how to rig right. Let's go to gear time.
Well, Phil, we got it wrapped up here, caught a few fish, had to fish a lot of places to catch a few fish.
Yeah.
They just didn't cooperate like we hoped they would.
No, it's been kind of a tough day.
It's been
a tough day. I don't know. We plucked out probably 5, 6, 7 fish. And
Yeah.
we've had some good fish there. We've had 3 or 4 really nice fish.
Yeah, you caught the better fish this time. I think you.
Well, you got the good one last time, so it's my turn.
I'll get him the next time. Yeah, we had a mix. We had pretty weather, sunny, windy, cloudy.
Yeah.
Then it calmed back down again.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of everything today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that front just kind of shut the fish down.
I think it did. It cooled things down a little bit. The water surface temperature went down a little bit. They just didn't. It seemed like there was a lot of bait fish in a lot of areas, and I'm pretty sure the fish were there. We just didn't find the magic weapon to make them bite.
Well, we threw a lot of stuff. Tell me what we caught: Carolina rig fish, Texas rig fish. We threw a lot of jigs and stuff.
Yeah, we threw jigs. Didn't do nothing with those today, but I normally use those this time of year. We threw this big worm, like this light edge a counter for some of the big fish we caught, and
Yeah.
the Carolina rig with different plastics. That's just a little 6-inch trick worm right there, and we threw different colors, trying to mix it up, see what they really wanted.
Yeah.
And even threw a lizard a little bit. Now, it used to be a real popular bait right there, but people quit throwing it so much, and I found here this summer that it seems like it's working pretty good again, but didn't really get them to bite it today. Of course, they weren't biting much of anything too good today.
They weren't chasing the bait at all.
No, they weren't. I don't believe a crankbait would have done them any justice. I don't think they were fast enough. We wanted to throw it a little
We
bit.
wanted to.
Yeah, wanted to. But we decided we were going to try to catch them on this plastic today.
When you're throwing that Carolina rig, you like a long rod, I know.
Yeah, I use a 7.5 foot rod with a lot of backbone. It helps setting the hook, especially on long cast, and handling these heavy weights that we throw. Because I use at least a 3/4 ounce bullet weight. We'll go to a 1 ounce if it's real windy. So you need a rod that'll handle the bait. You go in there for a flimsy light rod, it's not going to handle that kind of weight.
I noticed you use a different weight line on your leader too.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I use a 20-pound main line, and I use anywhere from a 12 to 14-pound test leader. That way, if I do hang up and it's with the hook, a lot of times all I lose is the hook and the leader. I keep the barrel swivel and the weight so I don't lose all the rig. And I just hate retying that whole rig all the time. Yeah.
Well, I've enjoyed it. We'll come back and try it again, since it'll be my turn next time.
That's exactly right.
I appreciate the invite.
Enjoyed it.
Yes, sir.
We hope you can use that information now. Let's catch up with Donna in the kitchen. She's got a recipe for blueberry cornmeal biscuits.
Hi, today in the kitchen we're going to be making some cornmeal biscuits, and we're going to add some dried fruit to these. They are so great and they look so beautiful coming out of your oven, and then they're nice and crunchy inside. You're just going to love them. So let's go ahead and get started. They go together really quick and simple. We're going to start out with 2 cups of our yellow cornmeal. You can use self-rising cornmeal if you'd like. I've used unrising or non-rising cornmeal, just plain. And we're going to add in just a little bit of baking powder. But if you use the self-rising, the baking powder is already in there. You don't have to worry about it. We're going to add in about 2 tablespoons of sugar and about 3/4 cup of flour. And we're just going to toss all that together. So this goes together really quick. This is something you can make for your family before they go to school or before you go out in the morning to go fish or hunt, or something you can just take with you if you get hungry. They're really yummy. Then we're going to take about a 1/2 cup to 3/4 cup of dried fruit. Now, I like to use the dried blueberries, and there's dried raspberries and dried cherries in here, and it just makes a nice variety of flavors and crunch in here as well. And what you're going to do, we're going to toss it with our flour and cornmeal mixture, so that way all of your berries, your dried fruit, don't end up on the bottom of your biscuit. And it coats them well. And then we're going to add about 4 tablespoons of melted butter in here, and then 3/4 cup of milk. And then we're just going to mix all that together, and it goes together. It's going to be kind of a soft dough, a little bit softer than a normal biscuit, but not quite as soft as a muffin. And we're just going to incorporate all that together just until all the dry ingredients are moistened. And this will make probably 8 to 12 muffins, biscuits, depending on what size you make. So once it's all mixed together, I lined my baking sheet with some non-stick foil, or you can use parchment paper just for easy cleanup. And then just drop these. They say maybe a 1/4 of a tablespoon, or a 1/4 of a cup size, but I like to make mine a little bit bigger. I figure if I'm gonna eat a biscuit, I want it to be pretty decent size. And we're just gonna drop those. We're gonna bake those at about 400 degrees for about 15 minutes, just until they're nice and golden brown. And if you want, you can brush a little bit of melted butter on top of them right when they come out of the oven, or just break one open and put some butter or some honey on it. And they're just so fabulous. This is what they look like when they come out. You can see all the great berries in them and how much texture and the crunch that they have. And everyone that's had them has just loved them. So I hope you enjoy these cornmeal biscuits, and I look forward to seeing you next time here on Simple Cooking.
Thank you, Donna, for that recipe. You know, Phil can put you on the fish, Joe.
He really can. He's been up here a number of years fishing, guiding the lakes up here, and he predominantly fishes Jordan Lake and Harris Lake, and knows them well. He currently holds the large fish record for Jordan Lake, over 14 pounds that he caught several years ago. But he spends the time on the water. He knows what the fish do at certain times of the year. He fishes it year-round. So if you want to go catch largemouth bass here in the Piedmont of North Carolina, give him a call.
That's just another reason to fish in North Carolina.
Absolutely.
For Joe Albee, I'm John Moore. We thank you for joining us today on the Carolina Outdoor Journal.
Make sure to visit our website for more information.
Grady White boats are known for uncompromising quality through exceptional attention to detail. On every model, from 18 to 45 feet, we incorporate exclusive features and quality components that you won't find on any other boat brands. Our exclusive CV2 hull design is ranked highest in every third-party survey done in the marine industry. So every day on the water will be a great day, no matter the conditions. Ask any Grady White owner and they'll tell you, get the Grady.